What's going on, Javi Lobby? It's your boy Javier with the Javier Show. Make sure you say it twice. All right, y'all. So I'm currently still, having the setup. I just moved and everything. So bear with me. I'm trying to do the best I can to keep videos going. But I'm going to do my reaction to Tom Macdonald. Tom Macdonald just dropped a song called Names. Names. And it's just one names, but I say things more than once. You know how it goes. Say it twice. All right, so we're going to do this reaction and see where it goes. So let's get my boy Tom Macdonald up here. All right.
They gon' try to call you names, label you with things till you're ashamed. You're a sexist or a racist, white supremacist or gay. They'll attack your reputation, claim that you're the one to blame, and try to make you hate yourself for ways that you behave. They're just names, embrace them and they'll never cause you pain. They're just words that another person thought up in their brain. They're just names, they do not define you, that's insane. And they'll just call you something different if you change.
Alright, so we're coming in heavily with like the overall theme of the song and the message, and getting in there early to show you exactly what the song is about. And the imagery, the videography is great. Basically, it looks like Tom Macdonald is being strung up like basically on like Jesus would be, but all of the names pointing towards him and making very much a lot of sense with what he's talking about when it comes to people calling you names. Now, let's get it.
They do not define you, that's insane, and they'll just call you something different if you change. Call me racist, I don't make no BLM donations. I can stand with black folks without a branded corporation. All this systemic prejudice, if you live in this nation, you privileged, black or Caucasian. Call me transphobic, but I support you in your policies. I just can't ignore the very basics of biology. All I see is men and women trying to live in harmony, not 100 genders that you wanna be.
Yo, okay, so when the beat first started, I was a little like, I don't know if this one's gonna be a fire one, but when that beat dropped, but it really hit hard. And Tom Macdonald, this is one of the ones where he's touching on a lot of different subjects. Now, the thing that I really want to point out that I think is very important on what he's talking about here is sometimes people will label you things just because you don't agree in the way that they want you to agree. It's not always about whether you're an advocate or something. They want you to display behavior that they deem to be appropriate. If not, then they're going to label you to be in opposition. And he's basically saying, I don't need to do these platitudes or these empty gestures in order to support something or stand with something. I do it in my own way, and I'm vibing with that.
All I see is men and women trying to live in harmony, not 100 genders that you wanna be. Call me snowflake, cause I'm offended, I ain't stone-faced. Social justice warriors destroying us with woke ways. Mad because they voted for the POTUS with the most hate. Man, I miss the old days.
Is that like some violin or something there going on? Man, let me rewind that a little bit, but yo, I'm vibing.
Mad because they voted for the POTUS with the most hate. Man, I miss the old days. Call me loser, call me bigot, call me stupid, call me bitter, call me ugly, call me cracker, call me doucher, call me trigger. You can call me what you want, cause at the end of the day, man, they're just names. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore.
Alright, so first initial reaction to the hook. Not only hook, but going into the hook, right? Basically saying, call them whatever, but it's just names, right? Which I 100% agree with the actual message. 100%. So far, this is not the best hook from Tom Macdonald. Not one of my favorites going into it. But like I said, I can always get with the message. But what he's doing in this song right here, I think, is what makes Tom Macdonald Tom Macdonald. Putting out a message that the majority actually resonates with. Even if they disagree slightly, they can overall agree with the sentiment. And he's doing exactly that, no matter what part of the spectrum you fall on. And that's why so many people love Tom Macdonald.
We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no shame. Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored. They gon' try to call you names, label you with things till you're ashamed. Repeat it till you really start believing what they say. They gon' stamp it on your forehead and scream it till you break. They love to say they woke, they not awake. They're just names, afraid of anyone who ain't the same. So they classify your thoughts as controversial, not okay. Then they cancel you till everything you have all gets erased. They trying to tell the world you bad, they're just names. Call me conservative or liberal, Republican or Democrat. I'm somewhere in the middle, but y'all don't know what to do with that. The system got you so obsessed with classifying right or left. You never call a person human, call them names instead.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm 100% with him on that. Like, I know that there are people who don't want a lot of people to fall in the middle, and sometimes it does make it hard for people to actually figure out where a person stands on certain issues and situations, where you can have a hard stance on something, but not necessarily on all things. Like, you can agree with conservatives on some issues, and you can agree with liberals on other issues. You can pick and choose what you stand for and what not. And then people might get irritated because some people within that middle, they have a hard time, nailing down exactly what they stand for and what their values are. So it can be either or, but I definitely get them. And look, if you're somebody who don't want to identify one way or the other, then that's perfectly fine, and you should have every right to do so, and people should leave you alone about it.
Got you so obsessed with classifying right or left. You never call a person human, call them names instead. Call me sexist. Men run the world cause they're aggressive, but behind every man there's a woman just as successful. We will never be equal in every way, that ain't helpful. Our differences are why we're great together. Call me white devil, I know you think the system favors me. My privilege is residual benefits from the slavery. Subconscious prejudice embedded in the system made for me. Don't mean I never struggled to survive, I guess we ain't agree.
Alright, so far, like, bars wise, because I'm gonna get my ranking at the end, so y'all make sure y'all stick around for that. But bars wise, he's doing very good lyrically. He's getting his message across, and he's doing it. His flow is very clean and crisp. I love that about it. There are highs and lows in the song. There are some parts of the song that stand out much more and sound much better as far as that beat goes, and the spacing or the timing of everything versus others. So I have my picks and chooses as far as that, but message spot on.
It is embedded in the system made for me. Don't mean I never struggled to survive, I guess we ain't agree. Ignorant and jaded, call me dumb, uneducated. Call me idiot or redneck or delusional or crazy. Call me anything society has taught you to say, cause at the end of the day, they're just names. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no shame. Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored. Your sticks and your stones might break my bones, but your words don't hurt.
Yo, when he said that, right, like, I was definitely vibing with that, because when I was growing up in the projects, people would always say, especially the parents would always say, sticks and stones would break your bones, but words would never hurt. And going through the projects, violence, all of that, jail, in and out, just you name it, I've always kept in mind that picking your battles is very important, especially when it's life and death. And to grow up and get into the political world and having the curtain lifted, you start to realize how many people just don't understand that simple concept. And it's kind of hard, because when you built that way, you expect other people to be able to deal with some of these tough issues in the same way. But now we live in a world where, words is violence, and we can't survive like that.
Your sticks and your stones might break my bones, but your words don't hurt. So give me your worst. Stupid loser, ugly poser, moron, liar, crazy loner. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord. Give a damn about the names, dog.
I can say one thing about it. Whether you have a favorite hook of Tom's or not, what Tom will do, even if you're not particularly fond of a specific hook, I think what he does, which is a great job, is he does very good at making hooks that is easily repeatable and easily to catch on to and sing along with. And that is what might get stuck in people's heads. So you might find yourself later on singing this song, even if you wasn't like, this is the best hook ever, you find yourself repeating it, and it gets in your head and it grows on you. And I think Tom Macdonald does a good job of that.
Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no shame. Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored.
Nova, Jared. Oh, they killed that beat though. That beat was fire. Especially had its highlights. Definitely had its highlights. I'm gonna get his ranking. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get his ranking. That's my boy Tom Macdonald with the song Names. Names. Took me a little minute to actually get my feedback on it, but that's what I like about these types of songs that actually touch on deep subjects and stuff of that sort. So when it came to the bars, everybody, the bars, it's Tom Macdonald. I think Tom Macdonald did a great job. It wasn't the most out of this world bars, but it definitely resonated with me. And the bars especially, I love political songs. I love songs that talk about this type of stuff, like as I said before. So I'm definitely giving the bars on this one a strong 9 out of 10. I can't break the scale on this one, but it's a 9 out of 10 for me. When it came to the beat is where most of this shined, in my opinion. The beat had its highs, it had its lows, but it really showed the skill of the person who made the music, and they did a very good job at laying that out and the different instruments that they used. So I'm giving that one 11 out of 10 on the beat. 11 out of 10. When it came to the visuals, I think he did a very good job being posted up on the billboard with all of the different painting, the painted words pointing towards him, the outfit that he wore. I mean, just the tape over his mouth, did a very good job at getting the message across from the very beginning to the very end of the song. And that's what matters the most. Sometimes people make music videos and you really can't match the video with the actual words, and they just made a video for the sake of it. But Tom Macdonald, Nova, y'all did a great job at this, and I think with the visuals for me, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Wasn't the best visuals ever, but it was definitely on message and creative. Overall, for this song, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And the reason I say overall is this is basic Tom. This is the Tom that really shined, that made people probably stick around and pay attention to him. And I think people like that about him. And I never want Tom to stop going back to his roots. Like, I want him to continuously do different things, try new stuff, but also give that traditional Tom that everybody likes. And he does that, and he's not forgetting what exactly caused people to pay attention in the first place. And he did that. Whether you get tired of it or not, that's up to you. But me, I haven't gotten tired of it yet. So Tom, keep rocking out, and it doesn't matter. Peace and glory, everybody. Make sure if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and you like that. You hit that like button. Peace and glory. Like I said, be peaceful and be great. Till next time, I'm out.
1 in a million to 1 billion. Too hot to be in the kitchen. I'll end up melting the ceiling.